Okay, we're sitting here in Trench 6. It's the end of the third week of our 2015 season at the Kaims. Yesterday we came up with a new feature down here and down towards the peak. This video will just be about some of our ongoing interpretations or our sort of hypotheses to what this may be. When I uncovered it, I was taking off Mound 6080, which is this stuff sitting, which you can see in sections sitting over it, and quite quickly came down on a peat here, which is natural peat. That's all good. It's got a couple of pits and potentially a linear cut into it, which runs sort of southwest along there, or southeast along there. But actually, in this section, quite clearly, I could feel and you can see a cut coming in from quite high up in the burnt mound, which comes down quite rapidly. It's filled with sort of very gritty, charcoal-rich material with loads of fire-cracked stones in it as well. So there's a primary cut there, and then the fill of that seems to be cut and lined by a secondary filling, which I think is this clay band, which you can see in section, which comes along here and then turns a right angle and goes out towards the south of the trench. And then inside that is another fill which is dominated by fire-cracked stones and general burnt mound material with quite a lot of wood in it because we're down in our waterlogged areas. My running hypothesis for this, and this obviously needs to be tested thoroughly, is that this may be a clay-lined trough feature, where we've got a series of cuts and this gritty charcoal material is very reminiscent of stuff we had out from our wooden troughs over there. The clay lining, or if it is that, is quite distinct in its sort of rectilinear format. I need to obviously knock back the section and take it that way to find out its true morphology. It may not be this. It may be lining up with we've got some more clay coming in, which seems to be admixed over there. So it may just be a sort of fortuitous arrangement, but it seems to be relatively significant in its size and in that right angle which it has. So that's the interpretation which we'll be testing over the next couple of days. If it is a clay-lined trough, that would make it the earliest trough we have on site, because it sits below burnt mound 6080, which is our earliest burnt mound feature, dated by archaeomagnetic dates and early Neolithic pottery out of the base of it over there. So it would make it quite considerably earlier than the troughs which we have to the northwest of me here, which are wood-lined. If it's a trough that's covered by the earliest burnt mound we have on site, that means that there must be an earlier burnt mound that we haven't found yet. Basically. It may be that this is the trough for 6086, which cuts off just in front of me here, coming down on the peat, and then they move to wooden troughs to deposit this stuff. I don't know. Again, I don't really know that it's a trough yet either. That's just a running hypothesis. But I just thought we'd get a little bit of it down on film so we can see the thought process as it plays out.